What's up, y'all? Welcome to today's video. We're basically in the exact same spot as the last video. This is Bicentennial State Park. This is our usual starting point now for our distance runs. We're about to embark on our first ever 7-mile run. That's right, 7 miles. And that's going to kind of tie into the theme of this video, how I've been able to go from 0 to roughly 25 miles per week average in 1 month. Sounds pretty crazy, I know, but before the skies absolutely open up, as you can see, we're gonna get on this run. I'll touch base with y'all after. I'll see you guys in 7 miles. See ya.
Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping. Oh my God, my life, my worst and my greatest weapon. I know I've been exposed great.
Also, another point too, so it's only been about 2 days since I was last on the road running. And it's crazy how quickly I started missing being on the road, because so Wednesday was my last road run and we did just over 6 miles that day. Then we ran on the treadmill for a threshold pace run on Thursday, rest day Friday, and today's Saturday. And it's like, I was just like itching to run. Crazy feeling. All right, now let's go. All right, fam, that is a wrap. 7 miles, just over 7 miles in the books. Felt amazing as expected, but I could not have asked for better weather. We're gonna head home, get something to eat, and then I'm gonna share, I guess, not necessarily tips, but just what has helped me out tremendously with increasing mileage, increasing volume week by week, and not feeling like absolute garbage. So let's head home. Grocery haul complete. So for any pursuit, fitness related, whether it's running, bodybuilding, or just everyday life in general, nutrition is absolutely one of the most paramount aspects that you have to keep in mind. But for the purpose of this video, my top tip that's relative to how I've increased my mileage is you have to eat more. It's as simple as that. Think about how many calories you're expending, how many extra calories you're expending through this process that your body's not normally accustomed to doing. So given that fact, I have jumped up my calories a tremendous amount. No, I'm not tracking. I have literally no idea how many I'm taking in. But if I had to guess and estimate, because I've been doing this for so long, it's relatively accurate, I'd probably say I'm consuming no less than 2,700 to 3,000 per day. And that's just to maintain. I mean, you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen the body fat percentage, but that is the tip right there. You have to consume more food. Think about your energy out. You have to put the energy back in order to allow yourself to perform at maximal levels. So don't be afraid to eat. The next thing that you're gonna wanna focus on is you wanna make sure that you're showering after your runs. What? Okay, y'all know, I just got done brushing up, so I figured I would present the real next point. Yes, the next point that I wanna bring to your attention is this has been a gradual process, all right? So I didn't just jump from 0 to 25 miles in 1 week. It's not realistic, it's not practical, and your body is going to be feeling it very early on if you progress too quickly with it. So be patient with this process, right? That is one thing I can't reiterate enough. You have to be patient with this. I will say for me personally, the first week to 2 weeks was by far the most difficult, namely from a mental aspect, but just from a physical standpoint as well. My legs were feeling it, my joints were feeling it, they weren't accustomed to it. So I will say, don't try to increase the volume too quickly, too early on. You're gonna be setting yourself up, namely for injury, but also you will not be able to stick with it if you take that route. So just keep that in mind. One app that I've been using, I don't know if you can see this, that middle one. Anyway, it's called Strava. So that's what it looks like. One thing that's cool about this app is it's GPS enabled. So I need something like this to actually track my distance accurately and the routes that I was running. So I'm able to keep track of what I'm doing, keeps yourself accountable. So other cool tools on here, it shows you like exertion levels. You're able to input that, your pace breakdown per mile. So this is a very good tool to incorporate right here. So once again, gradual increases in volume, that's the ticket. In regards to training itself, I have incorporated the 80-20 rule. 80% being distance, endurance-based focus. The other 20% is more so interval, speed, technique work. The reason why I'm doing this is because, well, one, from a marathon standpoint, you obviously want to be focusing on building your aerobic capacity, your aerobic threshold. And that was by far one of my weakest points which makes sense given my bodybuilding background. I'm used to more explosive movements, shorter bursts, just all out energy output. So therefore, I'm not putting as much emphasis and focus into the 20% per se. I'm still having it there because if you want a quicker time, you need that component there. But because my personal weak point was endurance and just building up that endurance capacity within my legs, namely my quads especially, they were feeling it, like I said. Doing that and shifting my focus to more so endurance distance style training for the majority of it has been an absolute game changer. And that's how I've been able to increase my overall volume and work capacity week by week by incorporating that 80-20 rule, 80% endurance, 20% more so interval technique, speed work. This next one, I cannot stress the importance enough. Recovery. You guys, you have to take the time for proper recovery. This is stuff I should have been doing for years now, especially given my background with bodybuilding and consecutive years of weightlifting. But it's not something I addressed. And yes, my body has probably felt a lot worse than it really should at this point. So tools like massage gun right here. They make a bunch of different models of this. You don't have to go the super expensive route like the Theragun, which has a price tag of like $350 or something like that. Got this sucker off Amazon. It was like $70. It works great. It lasts for a while. Just saying. Ice. This is an ice pack, by the way. So, yes, another thing, my joints have been thanking me tremendously because I've incorporated simple, just ice pack. After my runs, especially when I'm winding down, at night, I like something like this just to, help, alleviate any pains, discomfort that I'm feeling, especially in my joints. So ice is another tool. And this is just something that I recommend to everyone, just some kind of foam roller. This is a rumble roller right here, so it's got the little notches and everything to really hit into those pressure points. You don't need this one in particular. A standard foam roller in itself that's like smooth on the surface is totally fine as well. Just something that can actually dig in, especially to like your ligaments, namely IT band. That's something that's going to get really tight when you start picking up the volume with running. But once again, recover, recover, recover. You guys, if you're training hard and you want to continue training hard, you've got to recover just as hard. I'm telling you, put the effort into both, and that's how you're going to yield maximal results. This brings us to our final points. Y'all, you're going to have to learn how to shut your mind off and just work. When it comes to running, it is by far one of the most mental undertakings, especially if you just don't naturally enjoy it, like myself. That's why I've always gone to bodybuilding as a thing, because I'm not saying I haven't had tough workouts with bodybuilding and weight training, but I felt a lot more in my groove, a lot more just, in my element, in my comfort zone with that. Especially the more years that I accrued and got under my belt, it just got that much more comfortable, and that's why I needed this. I needed something to shock my system and to shock my frame of mind as a whole. Because, that's that point, stop thinking and just do. It's so true though, because like I said, those first few weeks when I started this, I really thought, I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? What did I sign up for? Am I really going to be able to do this? Because all I thought about was like how much my legs were hurting, my IT band was acting up, my hip was hurting, like just all this stuff, all the negative aspects, all the reasons why I couldn't do something. Once I started just like muffling those a bit, I started focusing less on that. I just started keeping my eyes set on the target ahead. And then that's when we started to see the progress. That's when we started to see, all right, we just added another 5 miles this week. We just added another 3 here, another 2. It just starts, it compounds. And it just builds upon itself. So, that's been one of the most pivotal, profound changes of this whole process. And it's not necessarily just like silencing your mind entirely. I think your mind should always be working. It should always be contributing to what you're doing. And I think this is a quote actually from the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he said something like, your mind will always fail before your body. The key is to make your mind work for you, not against you. Which is so true, whether it's bodybuilding, running, etc. I mean, think about some of the toughest frames of mind out there from a cardio standpoint. You've got the ultra marathon runners, you've got the Ironmen and women, the people that have done things like that, the triathlon people, or just multiple full marathons. those kinds of people, you have to have a level of mental tenacity that is just unlike anything else. It can't be scathed or wavered or deterred by anything, because you're so committed and you're so driven by something deeper. And that's what I'm learning and gathering from this whole process. I fucking love it. Like, it's just, I'm like excited to hit the road now and get some miles under my feet. This was the same kind of feeling when I first started weightlifting, and I can't even describe how refreshing it feels. So that's my last point, y'all. Toughness up here is going to take you to the top out there. So it's on to the next milestone now. 30 miles, 35 miles, 40 miles per week. We're not going to stop. We're just getting started. I hope you guys can start your own journey with me through this. We're starting to look at some races, so we're narrowing down the options, and yeah, I'll keep you posted on that as well. I hope you guys found this video insightful, just a moment of real in terms of me talking about my process leading up to this and how I was able to go from literally not being a runner to averaging 25. Next week we're going for 30. So with that said, you guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you all so much for your time, for your attention. I appreciate each one of you for sticking along with this journey and being so supportive throughout the entire thing. As always, stay true to you, do more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
And then lay me down to rest. I know I was always rapping. Oh my God, my life, my worst and my greatest weapon.